Good morning, friends. It's 9:30 Central Time, Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. It's time for Coffee on the Porch. I see you all streaming in, no pun intended. Welcome, everybody. This is a weekly gathering that I host, now on Substack. My name is Eric Folkerts, pastor, musician, activist, writer. Welcome to all our regulars. Welcome to anybody else who may be joining us. If you're snowed in, this might be a good day to join us. We're a little snowed in Dallas. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Nancy. Nancy has correctly surmised the tune. She does that a lot. She has often correctly surmised our tunes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to you wherever you are joining us from. As I've already said, my name is Eric Folkerts. This is our live stream. I see a lot of the regular crowd already here. It's a regular crowd for a Tuesday, and the manager gives me a smile. It's Coffee on the Porch. This is a live stream that, as I've said, we did back in the pandemic, and I got to tell you, man, is this week reminding me of that time in all sorts of PTSD-ish ways. Yeah, feels like pandemic time all over again here in Dallas. Oh, hey, Vic Vines. Welcome to you. I did not know you were in Minnesota now. Wow. Is this the Vic Vines I used to know here in Dallas? Friends, if you want to be nudged and reminded about this gathering, you can join our text message list. We send a little brief text message, usually 30 minutes before we start. That's the goal, at least, to send it then. And then you can know to get your coffee and get your tea and get ready. Oh, great, Vic. It's great to see you, buddy. Man, how are you? We know things are a mess in Minnesota, friend. Would love to get your view on all this that we are likely to talk about here today on Coffee on the Porch. Yeah, just the usual reminders. I've got lots of music out for you. I like to promo my own music because if I don't, who will? This record came out last November. Unfinished Business. Lots of tracks that were kind of hanging in the vault for decades that are now out, and I'm super happy about. The year before, I released this one, which is called Rock Hammer to the Stone. So 2 records in 2 years, and I'm super, super happy about that. Super happy to have that much music live in the world for you to ingest in the way that you ingest your music. Because music goes into you, we ingest it. All right, there's a lot going on. Let me get back and let me say hi to a lot of people. Let me just go back and I usually greet everybody. Good morning, Bryn. Paula, how's it doing up there in Chicago right now? Rick Lang and Tara Lang are here from Brownwood. Rick says he's about to get out in all this. Be careful out there, will you? Because I'm guessing it's bad over there, isn't it? Good morning, Bobby and Debbie Berger, who I believe later on say they have their PJs and their coffee on the porch mugs. That's the best way to be this morning. Good morning to friend Gary Foster. Good morning, Linda Waring and Nancy, who correctly surmised the song. Carol Ann says, good chilly morning to all. Thankful for hot coffee. Man, aren't we all this morning? Good morning, Ann Swan from down at the lake. Liz Moen down at the very same lake. You guys are neighbors down there at the lake are joining. Cat Bird is joining. How's your new place holding up, Cat? You were worried about that last week. How's it coming? Let's see. Who else is here? Oh, Peg Davis is here. Good morning. Raising her hand. It is a cold morning, Gary says. James Myers is here briefly, probably on a work break. Yeah, exactly. Liz Moen says this. Yeah, let's hold that. You're 100% right. Yeah, we'll come back to that thought. Make that point a little bit later when I'm singing it. Good morning, Nancy Wonders. Welcome to you. Retro Slick EF KTEL UHF type ad is needed. Well, make it up for me, buddy. Make me up a retro KTEL ad. I would love that. That'd be hilarious. Good morning, Cindy Merton. All right, friends. Slow at the moment. Are you saying the internet is slow at the moment? It's looking okay here, but it was slow here earlier, and I'm afraid that might be bleeding over into us this morning. I tried to get everything ready. I hope I did. Let me see if I can cancel any other things that would help us here briefly. Just a moment while I look down away from you. Oh, your work is slow. Okay. Oh, good. Never mind. Good. I'm glad it's slow. Cat Bird says the power has held, thankfully working from home on a new Dell laptop that only took a year to get working. That's the way that works. Ken Kelly on our staff also has a new computer, and Cat took him about a week to get that. Had to send back one because, it didn't look like the picture. That happens a lot these days. And then he got another one and they sent it to him and it was fine. All right, friends, lots to talk about. Look what I'm wearing again today just because I really love this shirt. This is you got to know the Righteous Gemstones to appreciate this shirt. We were watching the Righteous Gemstones and there's a scene where Baby Billy has a show called Bible Bonkers, and I said to Denise, I said, that would make a great t-shirt. And it turns out HBO did it. They have Baby Billy Bible Bonkers. Oh my Lord, I love that show. It's so bad. It's such a guilty pleasure now. I didn't watch it for a long time because I thought it was too over the top. And then the world got too over the top. And I thought, okay, now I need this show. Good morning, Larry Pennington from up in Colorado. Rick Lang just sent us a picture. Good. Rick is saying good morning from Colorado. Good morning, Larry McCain. Welcome, buddy. Larry joins us for our vigils. You guys have big news. Whoa, Larry. North Haven has big news. My former church, Ann Willett, has announced her retirement. Wow, that's a big one. She has led that church so well. That's what I told her, with a lot of grace and absolute shepherded is what I said. She shepherded that church well, and I'm congratulations to her. But I'm sure the North Haven folks are sad, as am I. Kat said, yes, had to send one back soon. Amazing that I work for a Fortune 500 company that prides itself on technology but can't get its own people up and running. Yeah, crazy, right? Good morning, Laura Thurman. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying being here. All right, this is Coffee on the Porch, and what we do is we check in. This is a little coffee time. It's morning coffee time. Wherever you are, as you've already heard me announce, we have people from all over. We have people from all over the country who join us. And so the question on the floor always is, as we begin, how is your soul? How am I this morning? How are you? And we try to take that question seriously and don't just rush past it. Now the slides are messing up again. Doop, boop. And it's even on the mug here, Coffee on the Porch mug. So if you drink your coffee, you can ask yourself the question, well, how am I really? Take a breath, think about it, slow down, turn off the social media for an hour. Please, good Lord, turn off the news for an hour. Pour yourself a cup. Wow, that cup was empty. That means I've already had a good portion, which I needed. Cheers, friends, wherever you are this morning on this cold morning. Cheers. It's been super cold here. The reason it feels like the pandemic again is that we are snowed in here in Dallas, Texas, iced in, really, more likely. I gotta give the forecasters credit. Went right to plan, right exactly what they said, and exactly when they said it would happen. The only difference is that they said originally they said yesterday would be our thaw day, and that did not happen. We were well under freezing all of yesterday, and we have been since Friday night, which I know for some of y'all that's not a big deal, but we're not used to that here, and our pipes and our houses and our heaters really struggle to keep up. So, oh, nice. Just before your show, I watched Brian McLaurin. He was so good. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Well, it's kind of hard to tell us apart sometimes. We took a picture one time, Brian and I, and it's like, this looks like twins. So, yeah, he's a good guy. He's a very good guy. Proud to know him. But we're socked in here. School's closed. The streets are still iced. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm jumping ahead. The first question is, how are you? How are you all doing? And write me a comment. Tell me how you're doing. Leave me a comment about what life is like in your world. I noodle on the guitar for a bit while you leave some comments, and then we go back and check in with each other, and then we move on to talk about other things. It's a very Methodist thing. That's not right. That's That's a little better. All right, friends, you're already talking about the issues of the day, and you're already talking about how you are. Let me roll back and tell you, let's talk to each other a bit. Tara Lang says this: my soul is okay. Trying not to fall on the ice. Please don't, Tara. Please be careful. Rick Lang says his soul is good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. And we've already talked about Brian McLaren. As my soul goeth as my teeth, so as my soul, my teeth also. Is that what you're saying, James? Grinding, cold, stress, worth teeth. Worse outlook on everything. Good, though. Bike segment under local highway 59. I have waited forever opened. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad. A new bike path is always good. Always good news. Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm doing some of the grinding myself, buddy. I do some neck stretches and some mouth stretches that help it, but I need to stop. And yeah, it's not good. I can feel it literally this morning in here myself. I'm just going to admit to that. So I'm with you, friend, really. Kat says this: I'm grateful that I still have everything I need, but I worry about those who do not. Yeah. And Bobby and Debbie are saying, I'm appreciative that we have a safe and warm home. It's one of the things that a storm like this reminds you of, isn't it? It centers you back down to, I think we get so accustomed to the miracle of air conditioning in the summer. It's like, yeah, we have air conditioning. What's the big deal? Well, without it, you would fry and sweat and die. And in the winter, because we get it so seldom, it is more of a stark reminder, isn't it? For those of us here. And so, yeah, it's been a deep reminder to us. I'm going to talk about that myself in just a moment. Linda Waring says this from the Dayton area: I am confined! ! Not really an inconvenience. Snow total 24-hour record for Dayton. That's a big deal. What was the record? Like, what is a record for Dayton? 13 degrees right now in Dayton. I am reading, thinking, and doing okay. Larry, who has a lot to be feeling about, says, my soul is okay, just worried about our country. Aren't we all? Laura Thurman says this: I've actually enjoyed walking dogs this winter. My neighbor walked past with her dog a minute ago, and our dog, as I will show you, is having a lot of fun. Good morning, Seabuzz. Welcome to you. I hope you enjoy what you find here in this stream. Bobby says this: I feel with ICE on TV, it is like the civil rights movement on TV and how it changed the opinion of the country. I think you may be right. Hold that thought. Let's come back to it in a moment. But I think you may be right. Good morning, Susan Baxley. Good morning, Sally. Carol Ann says, one of my besties in St. Louis is with her daughter, had a leaky heart valve replaced. 2 TEEs, and now her heart is finally back in rhythm. God is good. Excellent. Many prayers and hugs to her heart. Yes, please. Her name is Sharon, and the daughter is Candy. Y'all pray for Sharon and Candy this morning, will you? Lift up a prayer. Good morning, Cindy McQuaid. Good morning, Larry McCain. Thanks for your first visit. How am I? Puzzled and conflicted. Yeah, well, aren't we? This is the place. This is the place, Larry. We're here every Tuesday morning, Larry, 9:30. It's a great little community for an hour. And we do the very Methodist thing. We ask, this is a John Wesley question: how's your soul? How am I? How am I doing? Ann Swan says this: my soul is sad because life is so cheap. The young man in Minnesota was unarmed except for a cell phone and was shot 10 times. I know. Horrible. Absolutely inexcusable and unbelievable. And yet it is our reality and our country, which we are going to talk about today. Larry Pennington says, I was in Steamboat Springs this weekend. That's a great place. On Monday morning, my car thermometer said it was minus 26. What? Sally says, my soul must be forgetful. Glad to join. Glad you're here. I'm going to show a dog picture in a minute. And Laura says, my soul hurts. Man, that's it, right? Can we all raise our hands and like that comment? Or not like is the wrong word, but yeah, I think our soul just hurts right now with all of this. Liz Moen says this, my soul is trying hard not to be numbed by the wash, rinse, repeat news cycle. Same pain, second verse. Yes? Yes. Sally is asking for some prayers for some of our Methodist heroes, John and Cynthia Estelle. They are dealing and struggling with medical issues. Cynthia is an amazing writer, and John is a wonderful human being, and I agree with that. Throw up a prayer for John and Cynthia. And James says this, everybody hydrate, drink 1.5 liters when I woke up, drinking water like a camel on payday. You got to do that. Good morning, Laura Trent Hernandez. Welcome to you, old friend. How are you? I think about you often, and I'm so grateful for you, as you know. Good morning, Rick Hill. Well, we got a good group here. Glad you're all here. Thank you for your comments. Feel free to leave more. We always try to refer back to them and have a little conversation. And now I will tell you a bit how my life has been. Before we jump into what you know we're going to talk about, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened around here. First off, this storm was coming, so I got off my ass and I finally took care of some of the leaves outside. This is just the backyard, and it's not even all of them, y'all. This is like, I don't know, 2/3, 4/5 of the leaves, something like that. Look at how many damn leaves there are. And that's not even the front yard. There's this many more in the front yard, or was. So I got them all up because I just wanted to, frankly, I want the bugs to die. So I want that ice to freeze the ground and help the bugs to die. Now, we left them in the flower beds, and I know everybody always tells me I should leave the leaves down, and I do. I leave some down, but look at these big, you can't leave all these down. It's like its own snowstorm. So finally got the leaves ready, finally got a big pile of wood. And staged it on the back porch, as I often do. There you see the snow already falling, and we just pull that wood in, and we live in a log house, as you know, a log cabin here in the heart of Dallas, and that fireplace is a lifesaver. I'm telling you, we just keep it going in a thing like this, and it's in the center of the house, and you see how these kind of houses really are designed as winter houses. I mean, it's not where we live the winter. That picture is all wonky, but anyway, there it is. That's the fire. Holmes really enjoyed the fire, Sally. The snow. This was his first big experience with a big snowstorm, and you can see him looking at the flakes in the one picture and tasting a few. And there's the backyard Denise took. I do. James says, I live in a mini Cracker Barrel. I do. If there was a Cracker Barrel that was completely opposite the politics of normal Cracker Barrel. Yes, I do. You're right. And it's a warm, safe place. And like Bobby was saying, I give thanks for this warm place in a time like this. I really do. Okay, I realize now, I can see I failed to center the pictures. I uploaded them, but the next few pictures are going to be all wonky, and I apologize for that. But as the snow means, that means I cut out Andrew. Dang it. As the snow means we were out to gather up homeless before or as the storm gets here. So on what night was that? Friday night? Friday night. Friday was a very busy day, as you'll see in a moment. But Friday night we were out on the streets trying to gather up the homeless, as we do, as Kessler Park does, myself and Andrew McGregor mostly, who I've shamelessly, accidentally cut out of this picture. But we were on the streets for some hours, and, we told folks as we often have to do. Look, come with us now because we probably can't get to you tomorrow. And that turned out to be true. By the time we could get up and going, it was getting too bad on Saturday. And I hope to God that somebody went back and got some of those folks. We got about a half van full over to the Fair Park shelter, and am grateful to thank you to Andrew for always jumping in and being the co-pilot on that endeavor. This picture is also going to be wonky. This one is not. Friday, the reason Friday was busy. Oh, good to see you, buddy. Give everybody a hug. Tell Ann we love her, and we'll talk to y'all soon. We have ours this afternoon. Friday was busy because Friday morning, noonish, we had a press conference at Kessler Park. We hosted a Clergy League for Emergency Action and Response press conference. And there you see the assembled group as we were kicking it off. And there were two reasons that we held a press conference. And I can see now that I failed to get some of these links, but you can go to my Facebook page and find out some of this information I'm about to talk about. We had two reasons for hosting a press conference on Friday, the Clergy League for Emergency Action and Response. One was to stand in solidarity with these two people who, again, I failed to clean up this picture. Sorry about that. That's Mara Bim, Reverend Mara Bim, and Reverend T.J. Fitzgerald. And they are on a bus in Minnesota. This is where they were last week. There was a call put out, a national call put out to clergy all across the country to come to Minnesota for a nonviolent witness. Unfortunately, this has all been blown off the front pages, this hopeful, powerful witness, by the harm that has happened. But of course, I want to go back and remind you about it today. I'm very proud of them. TJ and Mara are both members of CLEAR and very vital. TJ works at First Unitarian, First UU over, I think that's your old church, isn't it, Nancy? First UU over on Preston Road. We always used to call it the other cool church on Preston Road. North Haven people called it that. Good morning, Joel Grum. So TJ and Mara works at Royal Lane Baptist. And so they represented we Dallas clergy because some of us just couldn't go. And they were there on, and I'm so sorry I didn't fix this picture, but you can see them at least. And so in solidarity with them, at the very hour that 100 clergy were submitting to be arrested voluntarily in a nonviolent way, and 900 more were there in solidarity with them, we were in solidarity with them in Dallas. We made sure that this happened at the same time so that we could be in solidarity with them. The second reason that we held this press conference is that we wanted to decry and denounce the plans for a 10,000 human warehouse in Hutchins, Texas, in South Dallas County. As you may have heard, ICE has announced, the government has announced, the plans for 8 to 10 new megasites. 2 of those are planned for Texas, one in El Paso and one here. The one in DFW and Hutchins, from what we can tell looking at the lists, is the largest planned facility in the nation. 10,000 human beings. This is a warehouse district in southern Dallas County. It is meant for packages. We are almost certain now that we know the location of it. It's been confirmed by several folks in the media. The media is very slow to report on this, and that was the other reason that we held this press conference, was to say to our local media, hey, y'all, do your job. Help us confirm and get this story out. And because no local media, other than Mara writing for Baptist publication, she was the only one who had pointed out the location or even really talked about it much, which is stunning to us. we need all hands on deck to talk about this. So this was on Friday, and to their great credit, D Magazine, the Dallas Observer, and KERA, and I'm sorry if I'm missing anyone else, at least those three reported on the press conference and have confirmed the location. At least D Magazine has. Steve Monticelli, an incredible independent journalist, has in fact done a lot of work on this. We're still waiting on a Dallas Morning News story, which they've promised for 3 weeks, and it still hasn't happened. So I don't know. I don't know what the heck they're waiting on. But we need the media to get all over this, and we need the public to express their outrage and to call their local officials. And so that was the second reason. One, to stand in solidarity with Minnesota, and two, to decry this human warehouse in southeast Dallas County. As I've said before, there is an irony. There's a horrific irony for this planned warehouse. This warehouse, it's a 1 million square foot facility. Just to the north of it is the Hutchins State Jail. Just to the east of it is a FedEx place. And you can't even make that up as a metaphor, because that shows you exactly what they're trying to do. They're going to store human beings in a warehouse meant for packages. That's the intent. 10,000 human beings. Mega center for this. So I know there's a lot going on, but this is our local issue that we're going to push. I am grateful personally. I want to thank our own social justice team, many of whom you see in this picture, including, I think Susan is here. Susan Baxley is in that picture there, along with several, I think 3 or 4 other members of the Kessler Park social justice team. And thank you to all our clergy in Clear for our steadfast continuation of this work. Thank you to Mara and TJ for their witness, and thank you to everyone who showed up at the press conference. But, of course, as you know, no sooner had we done this, no sooner had we had this press conference, than we arose the next morning. I was making a post about the press conference. Top row in the purple. Yep, that's Susan, top row in the purple. I was making a post about the press conference when my phone started blowing up. Eric, ICE has shot someone else. And sure enough, we all now know of the murder, and I am just going to go ahead and call it a murder this time, y'all, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Alex Preddy's, this is the Dallas Morning News. This is their response. Friends, the Dallas Morning News is among your more conservative mainline newspapers, and this was their editorial over the weekend. Alex Preddy's killing is a sickening low point for America. What does this cut line say? All of us, especially conservatives, must stand against this abuse of power. I'm just not even going to qualify that. All of us should stand against this abuse of power, y'all. All of us. And I think you're starting to see that. And this gets back to the point that Bobby, I believe, made earlier, that it feels a bit like the 60s. I think we now have had, in a very short order there in Minnesota, 2 people murdered. There is a claim that in the case of Nicole Good, she was acting in self-defense. The agent was acting in self-defense. I think that's indefensible based on the video evidence, but that will be adjudicated. There is clear video evidence in Alex Preddy's case that he was executed while he was down on his knees on the ground. He was unarmed. He had a weapon, which was legal, and it was taken from him. And so these 2 people have been executed by our government, friends. This is our government doing this. I know you don't want to say that, but it's true. They are our government, and they are doing these things. Because we are socked in here. I want to say one more thing. I need to move quickly because I have a couple of songs I want to do. And I would love for you all to say how you're feeling about all of this. Good morning, Joel Grum and KK Florida and Linda Kelly and Wynn. I would love to know, how are you feeling about all this today? because I have one more bit of news, and I'm sorry I don't have a slide because the news broke so quickly this morning. CLEAR, Clergy League for Emergency Action and Response, for a year we've been telling you about a ICE lawyer named James Roden working out of the Dallas ICE field office. We are there, of course, every week for our vigil, and James Roden is a lawyer, working out of that office, representing you and I in court. That's his job. And a year ago, the same reporter, Steve Monticelli, God bless Steve Monticelli. A year ago, Steve Monticelli did reporting, which made it clear that James Roden is behind several white supremacist social media accounts. Steve Monticelli tracked him down, connected those dots, published it. Our three local Democratic congressmen, Mark Veazey, Julie Johnson, and Jasmine Crockett, all three demanded an accounting of this, a report, as is their job as members of Congress. These are some of the things that based on the biographical details and other information, the account owner declares, without shame, America is a white nation. Our country should favor us. All blacks are foreign to my people. Migrants are all criminals. The author fantasized about the country might consider feeding migrants to tree shredders. The account posted quotes from Adolf Hitler alongside the military slogan. I'm not even going to read it. But anyway, the account proudly announced, "I am a fascist." We've been waiting for a year for the government to do its job and issue a report on James Roden. They have failed to do so. As Mark Veazey now reports in an op-ed this morning, the Constitution is clear. Congress has both the duty and right to conduct oversight of ICE to ensure the safety of our citizens and equal treatment under the law. But James Roden is back in court under the Trump administration, acting once again as the face of the United States. ICE didn't disclose the results of his investigation, if there was one. He continues, "We can disagree about immigration policy, we can debate enforcement, border security, asylum laws, but there is no legitimate debate over whether a suspected fascist and neo-Nazi is fit to represent our country in a courtroom. Anyone who thinks otherwise has forfeited any claim to moral authority." Thank you, Congressman Veazey. He is the congressman that represents that facility, the ICE field office. And he is the congressman for our church. You lost audio and video. Whoa. Sorry, looks okay on our end. Somebody else chime in and let me know. Wynn says this: "Sickened, concerned, and feeling I'm not doing enough but don't know what to do." I think it's a fair response, Wynn. I think because it's overwhelming, and it's meant to be overwhelming. All of this is meant to overwhelm us. All of us is meant to freeze us like the ice outside here. It's all meant to freeze us all into inaction. So the first thing, Wynn, to remember is that's the point. So don't do it. My father's advice to me when I was a child was, don't give a bully what they want. And that both means don't overreact to them, which is what they're trying to get the public to do in Minnesota. That surge in Minnesota is all about trying to get the public to overreact. And thankfully, the vast majority of those witnessing against the administration is the vast number of those people are, I'm looking at Liz's comment, they're peaceful. No doubt not everyone is, because, man, if you poke the bear long enough, somebody's going to react. That's understandable. Martin Luther King said that in the 60s. But the vast majority of those, friends, are peaceful, as was Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy was out there defending his neighbors. His last words were, "Don't touch her. Are you okay?" He was out there defending his neighbor. He was not a left-wing fascist or whatever. And Antifa, well, he was Antifa, but Antifa's good. The U.S. military was the OG Antifa. Renee Good's last words were, "I'm not mad at you." And yet we are told that these folks were terrorists. They're clearly not terrorists. Carol Ann says this: "The Minnesotans who marched in sub-freezing weather was great, especially reference to one another. War battle for the unprepared aggressor." The thing about Minnesota that I'm afraid the government underestimated is they were already used to this. There are other parts of the country where it does, like who said that a minute ago? Feeling Wynn said sickened and feel like they're not doing enough. That's because in a lot of areas we've never really had to resist this kind of thing. Minnesota, they have. In 2020, Minnesota is where the George Floyd killing happened. And so Minnesotans are used to this. They were already pre-organized and could get these neighborhoods and groups together, working together. That's why this response has been this way. We need to pay attention to that. The whole country needs to pay attention to that kind of organization. We do. And so I'm grateful to them. I think they're showing us how it's done. Good morning, Richard Hearn. Good morning, my dear friend, right up the road on Vickery. So it's a hard time. It's a very hard time. It's a hard time wherever you go. Liz Moen is mentioning one more thing that I wasn't even going to mention today, but since she did, she's pointing out that Pam Bondi has written a letter to the governor of Minnesota, which is basically an extortion letter. She's demanding three things. She's demanding their voter rolls. She's demanding records related to a investigation of fraud, Medicaid, Medicare fraud. And what was the third thing? She's the end to sanctuary city policies. I just want to point out that all three of those things, those are dog whistles that the far right has been blowing for years. That's why those are the demands. That elections are stolen, that somebody's stealing your tax money. These are, in the main, lies. Elections are not stolen, and most tax money gets to where it needs to go. There is fraud. Of course there is. But they're blowing these dog whistles like they blew the Willie Horton dog whistle back in the day. And it's not right. And they know they're doing it. And Pam Bondi basically sent a letter that implies that if Minnesota does those three things, the surge of ICE agents will leave. Now, I want you to think about this, friends, because what this means is our Attorney General, whose job is to defend the Constitution in court, is instead demanding change at the barrel of a gun. This is what the mob does. This is what authoritarians do. The Attorney General of the United States, if you want those things, Pam Bondi, argue that stuff in court. Find legal ways to get that information. You don't do that at the barrel of a gun. And you don't do that by going house to house and arresting people. So God bless Alex Preddy, a nurse and a neighbor. And this is now the second time that ICE, I've said this for years. How many months have you heard me saying this? The things ICE are doing are designed to stir stuff up. They are trying to accelerate our anger and our division. That's what they're trying to do. Minnesota on the Main is showing us how not to do that, how to come together as a community and fight against that. And the whole nation is going to have to, I'm afraid, going to have to do that a lot more. So God bless Alex Preddy. Because we are snowed in, we could not do our regular vigil at the ICE headquarters on yesterday. So we held a virtual vigil, and you will see here, this is 70 plus people who lit candles somewhere in the world and held vigil with us yesterday morning virtually, 8 to 10 a.m. Thank you to all those who joined our virtual vigil, remembering Alex Preddy, remembering Renee Good, remembering the good people of Minnesota. And thank you. Thank you all for being a part of that. And I hope you find the witness of we clergy to be hopeful as well, friends. I hope you do. We are trying to be helpful as we can, trying to stand against these injustices as we can. And I know it's hard. I know it feels like there's not a lot of hopeful stuff happening, but I hope, whoops, now my switch is going off. I hope you find what we're doing hopeful as well in the midst of this hard time. Let me see if this foot, oh shoot, it's not going to work, is it? See, I have a little foot switch. This is my hidden trick. I can just do it manually. This is gonna, let me adjust so I can manually change my music. It's annoying that it worked earlier. Oh, is it upside down? Probably if I put it right side up. There it is. It was upside down, so it wasn't working. Okay. Friends, when I think, I'm just going to play and sing. Let me play and sing a song. Many of you know this song. When I think of what Renee Good was doing, when I think of what Alex Preddy was doing, they were doing what this song is about. Showing up. Showing up for their neighbors. We talk about this all the time at Kessler Park. In this challenging time, we have to be neighbors for each other. We have to show up for and with each other. So when I thought of Alex Preddy, when I thought of Renee Good, their last words, what they were doing when they were killed. They were singing the truth of this song through their actions. If I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me and ease my pain? If you needed me, I would come to you. I'd swim the seas for to ease your pain. And the morning's born, and the morning shines with the light of love. sunrise. If you close your eyes, and that would break my heart in two. The lady's with me now, since I showed her how to lay her lily hand in mine. Loop and Lil agree, she's a sight to see, and a treasure for the poor to find. And if I needed you, would you come to me? Would you come to me and ease my pain? And if you needed me, I would come to you. I'd swim to seas for to ease your pain. If I Needed You by the great Townes Van Zandt. Friends, we need each other. We all need each other in this time. We need each other desperately. We need to remember that. You need your community. I need my community. We all need to be community for each other. And so that's why I played that song, is to remind us right now that we need each other. I'm sorry to say, I don't know that we can count on our government. They're sheltering white supremacists. They're intentionally stirring us up. And so we need to build local community wherever we are. This is a national gathering that we do here, but you've got to build local resilience wherever you are. Find a congregation, a church, a temple, a mosque. Find local folks, neighborhood groups. Build community and trust so that when things get bad, you can respond. It may come to your town. I think many of us are fearful that it will. And so if that happens, be there for each other. Let me read you a few of the comments before I play one last song. James Myers is pointing out the Eighth Circuit has 2 Trump appointees of the 3 judges. The judges raising an objection will be silenced. Whew. Yikes. ICE is run by campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. It's definitely run like a storyboarded campaign. 100%, James. Let's remember this, and I've told you about this before. We have shared some of the propaganda, which was a tell months ago. Some of the propaganda, and what I mean by that is the memes that they post to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. The memes of invasion and this attempt to show ICE as heroes, white heroes. They were doing this for months, and we should have believed them that that's what they were headed toward, and that's what they're trying to do in Minnesota. It's failing. I don't know they're going to admit that it's failing, so I don't know what happens next. But we know this. It's 100%. They're trying to run this as if it's a story they want to tell, not a reality of human beings. And Anne says, I believe actually none of us are safe. If Renee and Alex are victims, who's next? It's a fair question. It's a fair question, Anne. Thank you for this, Laura says. You're most welcome. We do this every week here, friends. Very soothing tune, isn't it? It's a real soothing tune. Larry Pennington says this: we're worried that in the Denver area, ICE will target Aurora, and Trump has talked about it. All right, we'll be with you, buddy. My friends are up there, Ben and Becky. We'll be there, and they'll be there. I want to play this song. This is a church song. It makes the same point as the Townes Van Zandt song. Oh, somebody's calling me. Sorry. Brother, let me be your servant. Let me be as Christ to you. Pray that I might have the grace to let you be my servant too. We are pilgrims on a journey. We are sisters on the road. We are here to help each other walk the mile and bear the load. I will weep when you are weeping. When you laugh, I'll laugh with you. I will share your joys and sorrow till we've seen this journey through. When we sing to God in heaven, we shall find such harmony, born of all we've known together, of Christ's love and agony. So friends, we need each other, and we who are people of faith believe we need each other, and we need our faith to remind us of this, that we are all God's children, and we must demand justice and stand together, whoever we are, really whatever our politics are. We have to resist these things going on right now. Amen. How about that as a sermon, huh? Liz and Julie saying they love this song. Liz saying she heard that in her head. Well, I did too. I did too. I first thought of When I Needed You, and then I just immediately thought about that song as well. So it was a very late edition, so it didn't make my song reminders, but we started with If I Needed You by the great Townes Van Zandt. Please check him out. Check out Townes. God bless the memory of Townes Van Zandt. And please check out the other song, The Servant Song by Richard Gillard or Gillard. I don't know how you pronounce that. Sorry. But check that out as well. There are beautiful online versions of that song as well that you can find. All right, friends, we're about to wrap up as we do here. And friends, just a reminder, if you're talking about music, find this wherever you wish. I have 2 records out that have come out in the last year, 34 old new songs. This one is the most recent one, Unfinished Business. Lots of things that I needed to get out for years. 20 years this is in the making, this record. And then last year, a record also called Rock Hammer to the Stone. Both of those are available to you. You all found us here, obviously, on Substack, but if you'd like to be reminded to come to this gathering, find this link or scan the QR code, and that will lead to a form where you can sign up to get a text message nudge, which when I remember to, send 30 minutes before we go live, and that way you can get your coffee. You can get situated so you can join us live in this little virtual community. We've got a good group today. We got more than usual. I think it's because you're all snowed in at home. So let's see what you're saying. Wynn says amen. Sally says amen. Deborah Schrader, you are most welcome. Love you. Love your family. Man, do I love your family. You're welcome, Larry Pinion. Bobby, if I will try to remember to send you the PDF as soon as we're done. But you can search it under the guitar, what is that? Ultimate Guitar tabs place. It's up there, Servant Song. But I'll send it to you. And if I forget, bug me. And Ann Swan says this. Yes, this community, our community, we've met in the real world, some of us now. Ann Swan says this, one of the wonderful things for me is meeting and getting to know Liz Moen. That's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, friends, I know it's a hard time. Keep showing up for each other in your local communities. Keep showing up here if it's helpful to you. We'll be here having talks about spirituality, politics, music, and life. That's what we do here. Spirituality, politics, music, and life. As Liz said earlier, rinse and repeat. There's probably a lot more bad stuff coming, y'all. I wish I didn't have to say that, but I'm afraid that's true. So keep showing up for each other. If you are a person of faith, keep praying. Keep showing up in your local communities, and come back here next week. Until next time, friends, this has been Coffee on the Porch with Eric. God bless you and keep you. Bye-bye. Oop, hit the wrong button as I sometimes do. Bye-bye.